Today we are going to cover custom forms training. This is the smallest amongst the entire lot. The primary idea is not to create multiple forms over here based on the custom requirements, but to show what all things are possible within OpenSpecimen and how they can be explored more. So today we will be covering these three things primarily. Firstly, how to create forms. Secondly, how to attach these forms. And third, in case if you have created the forms in one environment, how to move that to another environment. So that is done via export import. So we'll see these three things today. First of all, the what is the purpose of this forms module? So the primary purpose is to collect additional data as per local needs. So it can be clinical data, it can be genomic data, or any kind of data which is in addition to the default fields of OpenSpecimen. So I think for able protocols, Brandon is already creating multiple custom forms so that additional fields will be recorded there. Now, these are the primary fields or levels where forms can be attached. One is participant, visit, specimen. Even on the user level, you can attach certain forms. For example, uh, you have some agreements that you do internally that can be stored against each user. If there are any SOPs, any what you can say, ethical committee documents, approvals, background checks, anything that is to do with users, all those can be created within forms and attached at the user level. Similarly, you can attach forms at collection protocol, container, distribution protocol, order. So in short, in all levels of open specimen, you can attach these forms. Now, who can create forms? Usually the forms are created by the admins, but additionally within your user profiles you will see something like this, a manage forms section. So if this manage forms is marked as yes, then any regular user can also manage this form. So your site admins, institute admins, super administrators, all of you will be able to create and modify these forms. Now let us try to create one form in the open specimen. What I have done is I have pre-created one demo form for this purpose. So I will go over that form. So this is a demo environment in open specimen. So firstly, what we will do is we will go through individual sections of this form, and then we will see how this form is configured and what other things you can do with this thing. So the first one is training form, do not touch. So this is the name that I have given. You can define any name that you want, and that can be very specific, very intuitive as per your local needs. So this entire form is created just to capture some additional information like clinical diagnosis uh, for one demo collection protocol. So if you see, there is a diagnosis date. So within a form, you can have a date type of field, which will be used as a date picker. I will also open the preview in another window. Yeah, so it will look like this after that is attached or while entering the data. So you will get automatically you will get this date picker from the system, and you can choose any date. You can choose the year, whatever year you have. You can also choose, this is a bit older. You can, no, I don't want this. Sorry, I need to go into, yeah, 2009. Yeah, this looks okay. Now, in case if you have any additional conditions which are just one type of condition is possible. So in all such cases, you have a radio button type of values. Then there is something called as yes no checkbox. So for example, suspected other chronic diseases, just check, it means yes, otherwise no. So this is nothing but this is nothing but used for creating a checklist within OpenSpecimen in case if you need that. Here, this entire section is nothing but a subform. So what does that subform do? Uh, this is used to enter same data again and again. So in case if you are documenting prognosis of a disease in every visit, and you just need to keep on updating values, then you can just click on addition of values. So I can document anything over here. So this entire list is uh, configurable. So that is coming from clinical diagnosis type of dropdown. So pulling any list from a global dropdown, that is achieved via a dropdown called as permissible value. I will come to that shortly. You can have a predefined specific values like hypertension, chronic diseases, and you can also have a text box like this is a free text field, and you can add multiple copies or multiple rows for these values. So if I add date over here, I can keep on updating the same form again and again until when my let's say during a pregnancy I'm collecting some specimens, I can attach these things within every visit. Now you have something called as text area. This is for a larger free text entry. So this area can accommodate large number of textual data. So in case if you have any point of care reports or some kind of annotations done by the clinician, that can be added over here. Similarly, you can utilize the same field anywhere you want. And again, the smaller area which is just like a one line small sentences and that kind of thing, this is called as free text area again. Now there is something called as multi-select dropdown. So suppose I have a fixed set of values, but suppose my participant has two types of deficiency. He has deficiency of vitamin A and vitamin E. So in such cases, you can utilize this multi-select dropdown type of field. Next one is again multi-select checkboxes. So all the values will be available in front of you. All you need to do is click, 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 and add these values. Uh, this is a site field. So for example, if you want to document that patient first visited to XYZ site or some kind of a demo site, then you can document that whatever sites you have within your system, they can be pulled in over here. You can also attach any kind of files. It can be PDFs, it can be text, it can be zip, any kind of files. It is a file picker. You can just attach files over here. Just select the file and upload. Next one is the temporary containers. So suppose freezers, but suppose you want to say something like this, that within my protocol, let's say GABS protocol, all this kind of temporary unplanned specimens are stored in freezer 1, rack 1, B1. So all such type of information can be documented over here. So all the storage containers or all the freezers that are available within the system, it can be boxes, shelves, rack shelves, anything. So all of them will appear in this drop down. So you can create that kind of structure. This one is special. This is called as a note. So in case if you want to add some disclaimer, some instruction, which whoever is documenting this form, he needs to update that. So you can use it over here. You can also use a user field. So in case if you have created contact user or regular users within your system, all of them will appear inside this drop down. By default, the logged in user is defaulted at the moment. And additionally, if you want, you can create your own signatures like this. The primary purpose of this activity is to go paperless. So you don't have to have any paper documentation of any kind of forms outside of OpenSpecimen. So that is the whole purpose of this activity. Now let us see how we can create one form. Any questions until here? Please feel free to stop me in between wherever required. So if you see this GAPS protocols, these are all created by Brandon, and he will uh, uh, let you know how he has done that and what additional configurations he has configured for you. So to create a form, all I have to do is navigate to forms from the menu and click on create. I can simply add some title and click on save. Now my basic form is created. I can add as many fields as I want. So in general, within a form, maximum fields that you can add that range somewhere around 80 to 100 fields. So you can choose which field and in what order you want to add. So once you click on add field, you will be seeing one drop down. So these are all the values that we just saw: the text field, text area, a number field, radio button, checkbox, yes no checkbox. So all such fields are available over here. You can choose any one or two of them. So currently I'm just choosing one free text field. I'm not marking anything as of now, but in case if this field you want to make it required, then all you need to do is just click over here and the field become mandatory. You can define it as a PHI information in case if that is any way depicting any patient health information. So you can just turn this button on. So all the technicians who do not have access or who do not have rights to see patient health information won't be able to see this particular field. Default value, in case if you want to put any default value, you can define it over here, something like this. And once you click on that, this value will be erased. So this is, and once I click on save, it will automatically create this field. Now I'm just going to create a couple of other. Of course, gender is not the right option over here, but this is just for demo purpose I'm using. The gender is default field in OpenSpecimen. To avoid confusion, let's say I will choose something else, and you can keep on adding as many options as you want. So all these options will appear within the screen. Now, if you have these options available in CSV format, you can also click on upload options and upload the files, and that will be all the options will be uploaded over here. Now you can choose if any option needs to be defaulted. Example given clinic one. So whenever I open this form, my clinic one will be defaulted. and I can choose how many options I want to see within one row. So if you remember this, we had created these five radio buttons. So I had mentioned five over here and no default option, so that all the options appear in one row. If I make it yes, make it one, then you will see options one below the other. So this is how it is done. Now this is a checkbox which will help you to arrange the form in a better way. So if I click on display on the same row as the last field, sorry, it will appear in front of this. So the system will automatically adjust the weights, but both these fields will appear uh, one beside each other. So currently I'm just putting it 3. I will put it 2 just for demo purpose. Yeah. So in the preview, it will show something like this. So only 2 options appeared on the row 1, and when the third option came, it moved to the row number 2. So that this way you can enter any number of fields within this form. Let us see one more. This is something specific to OpenSpecimen. This is called as a permissible value field. So there are uh, uh, some default drop downs that are present at global level, I mean at system level. Example given, your specimen type or clinical diagnosis or collection container and similar. So in case if you want to document something very similar but with the same options but as a separate field, in that case you can use permissible value. So for example, you have a visit level clinical diagnosis field, but additionally you want to document secondary diagnosis somewhere, then this is the field which you will use. Now the good thing is you have to select the drop downs. So all the global lists or global values come within this drop down. You can select any one. Currently I'm choosing clinical diagnosis. So whenever I'm seeing this field, it will automatically pull all available values that are inside this drop down. So this is the benefit of using this. That way, in case if you have primary, secondary, tumor diagnosis and 10 types of diagnosis, you don't have to manage 10 different drop downs. All you need to do is update this global drop down and it will appear everywhere. So that is the benefit of this entire thing. Now here you can basically every diagnosis or every drop down has option called as leaf value, or that is the textual value, and there is something called as concept code. So you can choose which value you need to show in the drop down. So that is how you can create permissible value. Now if I see this preview, you will see that the 3 fields that we added, they appear one below the other. Now let us assume that I want to move this secondary diagnosis above this patient is treated at. All I need to do is go to my form, select this, drag and drop. Once I did this, click on preview. See, it is already moved. So it is very simple to drag and drop and arrange these fields one below the other. Now, there is a very special feature that we are providing you, that is called as a subform. This is the last feature that we are going to see within this create demo. Now, subform is nothing but a form within a form. So I can select this and all the fields that I was seeing earlier, they can be added over here again. So I just created one free text field and one drop down with once I click on go back, you will see a subform something like this. So all the fields that we add within this subform, they will appear in one row, one after the other. So this is how this subform feature is used. And the good thing is that what we saw over here, you can make multiple entries for the same values. So that is the benefit of this feature. So the and done. So it is as simple as this to create a form. All you need to have is the clear set of requirements, what you need to do. Now, once I have completed this form, now you have seen that I have mentioned that you can attach this form anywhere and everywhere. So at all levels. So how to do that now? So within these four small buttons, there is a spanner icon or a branch icon. You have to click on this attach form to a collection protocol. That tooltip is a bit misleading, but you need to use that. You can attach it at any level. So if you click on this drop down, you will see all available levels. So collection protocol custom fields, container custom fields, DP requirement custom fields. So there are two types of uh, drop down levers that you see. One says custom fields and one says forms. So I will come to the differentiation a bit later, but these are the two primary things. So when we say registration custom fields, that means during your initial participant registration page, you will be able to see these fields. Whereas registration forms, that is attached at the registration time, that is a separate entity. So you first have to register a participant and then attach this form. So similar to that, you have if you have custom field everywhere. Additionally, you can also create custom events and custom and attach individual forms to those events, users, visits, profile, everywhere. So all you need to do is select a form, attach it to some level. So let us say specimen custom fields, specimen custom fields, and you can select which collection protocols are going to use it. So you will get the entire list of collection protocols over here. In case if you want to select attach it to only one specific, you can select that. For example, I am attaching it to this level, and I can add multiple values. I can add multiple values, or I can just click on all present and future collection protocols and it will be associated. I'm just going to attach this form. Now I realize that, okay, I have attached it to two levels at specimen custom field, but instead I want to enter this value as participant registration form. So I'm just clicking on participant form. I don't want this association anymore. I can remove it. Now I am just going to attach it to participant forms. Now here you can say enable multiple records allowed. So whenever you attach it to custom forms level and not custom fields, you have this options available, that is multiple records allowed, enable notifications. What does they do? So for example, you are documenting social history in every visit. So in such cases, you need to re-enter the same form again and again, the entire form. So in such cases, you can click on this, say multiple records allowed. So you can keep on updating the same form again and again. Or sorry, you can keep on creating multiple copies of the same form again and again. And this is something called as enable notifications. So what does that do? So for example, some specific users needs to be notified about this form. For example, I have created a form of consent revoke, and whenever I am filling this form, it needs to be notified to the specific clinician or specific supervisors or collection managers. Then you can attach them in over here. All the users that are available within the system, they will appear inside this, and you can define which user you want to send the notifications to. So this is how you can do it. Additionally, now many times it happens that there is PHI information. So by default, the form will just say, okay, value, this form has been filled, but no additional information is provided. But in case if you want to display that information within the email, then you can select this checkbox. So all the information that you have filled within the form, that will also be copied to your email body. So this is how you can associate multiple forms. Any questions on this? Right. So we have already seen this, how we can arrange these fields one below the other, how we can attach the forms, single versus multi-select or multi-record form. And additionally, we have also seen this specialized uh, uh, field type, that is permissible values, where we just added the clinical diagnosis drop down again. We have also seen the subform feature. And the good thing is using these forms in query. So whatever information that you document within this custom forms, that is queryable. Currently, as I haven't attached these forms anywhere, you won't be able to query it. But suppose I assign this form to any specific uh, collection protocol, and document information like participant information or visit information, all that information is also queryable. So any field that you see within this form, that is queryable. So that is the pretty much that I wanted to cover while for creating custom forms. Now there are multiple additions and multiple other possibilities of these forms. So you can show and hide specific fields within the custom form or within the custom fields. You can change the caption of individual field. For example, even if within my form it says that patient is treated at, but within my data entry I can make it to show patient primary visit hospital, something like that. So you can choose what caption you want to see within your system, within your own collection protocol. So all such additional advanced things are also supported by the system. So we have elaborated wiki pages around this feature, and you can go through them and just let us know in case if you have any questions. I think this is a pretty simple and straightforward module, and it is just a matter of time before you can do this on your own, and that is very straightforward to do. But in case if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If we have any specific questions to discuss today, we can start doing that.
Hey Rohan, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that we can actually pull out and store our SOPs, forms, or whatever documentation we have in terms of other clinical data information and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
is there a way we can manage those things? Because normally what we do is we review our SOPs every year, whatever changes are there. So is there a
Mm-hmm.
way to archive them and, kind of basically managing all that form and uh,
Mm-hmm.
SOPs in there? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, there is. So there are multiple ways to do it. So one thing is you can create SOPs within forms like this. And additionally, there is a way to show SOP. Let me. So there is a common SOP document across all collection protocols. Then a button is added over here where you can. Okay, let me quickly add something over here.
We cannot see anything. I don't know. My screen doesn't show anything.
Oh, is it same for everyone, or is it just? Okay, let me
Yeah,
share.
it just doesn't have it.
Okay, let me reshare. Can you see open specimen now?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Is it loading?
No, it just says that you're sharing the screen, but it's still black.
Hmm. I want to share my entire screen and I want to allow it.
There we
Uh,
go.
yeah. Okay. So within settings, there is something called as SOP. So you can upload any document over here. I'm just putting a placeholder for now, just for this demo purpose. I can attach any zip or anything. I can also select specific directories, attach specific links. So in case when you have system level documentations and you want people to go to certain specific link, you can attach anything over here. Now, if you go inside the study, you will be able to see this. So if you have a PDF document or something like that, all you need to do is click over here and the SOP will be downloaded for you. So this is one way. And the other way is to create a custom form at the collection protocol level. So whatever SOP you have, you will be able to attach it and see it on this level. So so that is possible. You can do that.
Thank you.
But why are you asking it? How exactly you do that on a yearly basis? Is it done by one protocol at a time, or is it done across the system?
No, the SOPs are basically are based on the protocol, but sometimes there are changes on some of the processes and all, so we have to update that SOP. So normally we actually store them
Mhm.
um, in the box because it's easier to go through the versions. But I was
Mhm.
wondering if we could place everything in one place. So,
Yeah. So in case that is the case, you can just add the CP SOP link in the settings,
uh-huh.
and uh, it will drive you to the box link. So you don't have to click and search the box links again and again. You will have the button to just click and it will direct system will directly drive you to that box link.
Can you show that one more time? How do you do that?
uh, Within settings,
Mm-hmm.
go to navigate. Within settings,
Mm-hmm.
just search for SOP and you will
Okay.
see all the three necessary fields over here.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But this is system wide. This cannot be done for one CP or one group or something like that. It is system wide. So you have to decide what needs to be added over here, or whether you want it at a specific system level. Then in that case, the better option is to add it at collection protocol level rather than system level.
So when you say system-wide, that means it's not specifically restricted to our side, or it's
Mm,
like
no, that will be available for everybody.
everyone. Okay, got it.
Usually these SOPs are something like this. So for example, whenever you have whole blood,
Mhm.
now to process it to plasma, you have to collect it into EDTA tube, then run at what is that 5000 G for 10 minutes, something like that. So this kind of specific instructions are common across all protocols. So that is the reason it is at system level. But if you have a SOP for specific collections, like you need to collect three whole bloods and process five serums from first whole blood, three from other, and you want to document that kind of specific instructions, then you have to attach it at the collection protocol level.
Okay.
And again, at that point also, it is possible to store a document link. So in case if you are currently managing that in box, system will redirect you to the box.
Okay, thank you. I have another question regarding the labels. I don't think we have the answer for those yet. And we really need to have a way to get a PDF format so that we can print the labels in a laser printer.
Yeah, we are actually discussing that internally. I have already raised that to my internal team, and I will get back to you as soon as I get any response.
Okay, thank you.
Can you go over what happens with multiple revisions of the same form and archiving forms and things like that?
So, do you have any specific questions, or you want a generic answer?
So yeah, I mean, let's say that we start using a form in a particular way, and then we want to, now we decide we want to revise it and maybe also like split it into two forms, you know, make changes, and then we want to keep the old data, but then continue to use different forms instead.
Mhm. So in that case, all you need to do is change the form associations. The ideal thing is to have the complete export, or instead of splitting the one form into two, just keep on updating the same form so that it is uh, effective retrospectively for the all older specimens, as well as it will be effective for the new specimens. So in case if you have something like my year one data, my year two data, something like that, then you have to just remove the associations, but it will impact your querying of that particular form. So as soon as the attachment is done again, you will be able to query, but that depends on what what level you have attached the form. So if it is registration custom fields form, we do not recommend to change that form very oftenly, or even if you do those changes, that should be within the same form. You should not drop the form and create a new one for those things. But in case if it is participant level custom form, if it is visit level custom form, then you can obviously remove the association for temporarily, and attach it whenever you want to query data or export data.
Okay, so if we update them and switch over to new forms, then we won't be able to query the old forms.
Yeah, that is right.
Okay.
So that is the reason why we say always use the forms that are predefined, because not every day that data is changed, right?
Okay. And then I had seen something about a way to enable HTML markup for forms. Are you able to show where that is able to be configured?
What do you mean by XML markup?
HTML markup.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What was the purpose of doing that?
For better formatting, so that it's easier to read.
Read the form.
Yeah, so I can draw people's attention to different pieces of it and space things out better.
See, officially we do not support these things because uh, when you change the screen sizes, it becomes very difficult. Not everybody is technically sound enough that design becomes responsive. So we do not really recommend to do that. But you have an option to download form XML from here. You can just download. It will give you a zip output in XML format. You can choose whatever things you want to do with the XML, and once it is done, all you need to do is import back. So this is the usual simple way, but the thing is we do not recommend, or we do not support also to make any changes in the form layouts and that kind of stuff.
Because I can share the link that I was referring to. This one here.
Processing A, which one?
Oh, it's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and that kind of stuff. But the thing is, better for UI, that is not a wise thing to do. Okay, so you mean you just need to highlight something like that, or you just wanted to rearrange the entire form?
I'd like to be able to do specific formatting and bolding and white space and have that customizability.
Mhm. See, this is the wiki page from where you can do that. As I said, this is the place from where you can download, make any changes as per wiki pages and all. But the thing is, this entire functionality is meant for this kind of highlights, that I am just going to change the label, text color, or add some border and that kind of stuff. But if you make more changes to the actual layout of the form, it is most likely possible that it is going to break somewhere when screen resolution changes and that kind of stuff. So you have to make it very standardized if you are going that route.
Okay.
But the way is, I mean, the original question was where to do that. So this is the way to do that. You can download the form and make whatever changes you want and import it back.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional question?
Everybody. So if you have any questions outstanding for OpenSpecimen after you guys have done some of the training and tinkering with the test site, I'd recommend you guys ask Rowan while we have him here, because we're going to go live on Monday and you guys will have to be able to do your own collections and all that. So I implore you to ask questions while we have them. And if there's any other things you want to see in OpenSpecimen, things you had questions about, or things you were interested in but weren't shown throughout the training, you can ask him that now as well. So there's a question in the chat row, and it says, how do we run or search queries?
What type of queries you want? You want to build it via OpenSpecimen or via database?
In OpenSpecimen.
Oh,
So
okay.
they want to know about searching for specific tissue types.
Yeah. So from the navigation menu, you can go to queries and you can build your own queries. So I think there is one training session that we had conducted around this reporting module and catalog module last week. So you can go over that, but just the short answer, you can select your own collection protocol from this drop down, and let us say I'm just choosing one. You can select your own collection protocol, and within your collection protocol, whatever field you want to search. For example, I want to search clinical diagnosis. I can select the diagnosis option. I can choose any operator I want. For example, I want exist and use the parameterized filter. So I will click on add. Currently, I'm just removing this for now. Just a moment. It got yeah. So from the visit, yeah. So this is called as a parameterized filter. Currently, this is my demo environment where you have lot of specimens and everything. You can select what type of columns you want to see. For example, I just want to see the participant PPID and first name. From visit, I just want to see clinical diagnosis and visit name. And I do not want to see anything. But I just want to see specimen label. I can select these columns and you will see this available over here. Let me yeah, so you will see this in query output. So I can click on this. I can select any specific diagnosis if I want to filter. So in your case, you need to add filters like specimen type of tissue, pathological status or clinical status of tumor or malignancy or whatever you define. And additionally, something called as tissue site. So you need to add that kind of filters over here. And once you do that, then it will be available for you. You can edit or save whatever you want to do with this kind of queries. So as many filters as you want, you can add it over here.
I think his screen is crashed or something.
Oh, we'll give it a minute.
for every other
So Rowan, you were cutting in and out there. We didn't hear you.
time. So today I want to see lung tissue. Tomorrow I want to see, latest time I want to see lung, something like that. So whatever custom field that you have. Oh, sorry. Hello, Manuel, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You were cutting in and out there for a bit.
So sorry. It must be drop in connectivity. So the thing is, you need to add multiple such filters. So as many filters as you want, you can add within while you build the query. What you need to know is what is the right field where you are documenting this information within your collection protocol. If you know this, then you can keep on adding multiple filters. The benefit of using parameterized query is you can reuse this query again and again. So today I want to see lung tissue. Tomorrow I want to see pancreas. Then I want to see hair. All such things can be. I mean, same query can be reused again and again. So that is the benefit of using parameterized query. And this is how you can build your own queries. If you know where that value is documented within OpenSpecimen, then it is fairly easy to build this query. And somebody like Brandon, Manuel, or anybody from the collection managers should be able to help you with that. Does that answer your question, or was there anything specific? Yeah.
I think you answered them. So Rowan, I had a question as well. In when registering a new specimen, I was wondering if you could explain the labels mandatory field at the bottom of multiple specimens.
Let me go to. I will just use an existing participant to save some time. You mean to say about this number of specimens and how to use this?
In our collection, so in our test site, if I go to the like one of our collections, that field is called labels.
Let me log into. I just pray I remember the password. Ah, no,
If
I have
it's
forgot.
easier, I can share my screen.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the field at the bottom here that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. So go at the top. Yeah. So when you are trying to enter multiple specimens, you need to add multiple comma separated values there. Just try adding test 1, test 2 or something like that. Yeah, you don't need to do over here at the bottom.
Oh, at the bottom. I thought you said go to the top.
Yeah, yeah, this way. Yeah, click on next now. That's okay.
Are there any required fields I gotta add? Like,
I think
sound check?
rest of the things are not mandatory. Yeah, see this.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, because when I was trying it, I was putting in the prefix or something. I thought it was going to auto generate, and it kept telling me that it was not the right format. So I was trying to find where that format was set, and I couldn't find it. So I thought I'd ask. Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
now you just have to make sure you add the label, what you want each sample to be called, and you separate it by a comma.
Correct. And more importantly, it won't allow you to store the label unless it matches the format. So you need to go to that UHS emergency department, more CP details, label, range icon, label format. Yeah. So the primary label format that you see over here, whatever value you enter, that should match with this format. And
Okay.
currently, if you click on edit and remove this user inputs allowed, that field won't appear over there. The user input allowed checkboxes, if you just uncheck them, that field won't appear over there. Just trying doing
Just,
that.
just remove these.
Yeah. This is when you need to enter manual. So now if you go into your emergency department,
Okay.
go to the bottom. Yeah, see now it just asks you number of specimens.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question?
Does anybody else have any other questions or anything they would like to have explained better before we end this? Okay. Sounds like everybody's happy and ready to go.
Manuel, if I
Yes.
know we will have more questions as we keep working on this new system. So can we reach out to you, or we can reach out to the OpenSpecimen people directly?
Yeah, you can reach out to me and I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. And if it's something I can't answer, then I can forward it on to the OpenSpecimen team.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So in next week, you all will be live with OpenSpecimen. So I wish all of you all the best, and we are there for all type of support that is needed. Let us hope for a smooth go live, and there might be one or two small hiccups or things are not in place at the moment, but that will be fixed within within first available uh, moment when we can do that. So all the best, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Manuel, I have a question for you. So
Sure.
when we go live on OpenSpecimen, we will somebody, either super admin like you, or a couple of other people will have still some access to tissue matrix, because we want to make sure that we are not missing anything, or it'll be like completely gone.
It'll be completely gone. OpenSpecimen is going offline 5 o'clock on Thursday.
Okay.
Our user license runs out, so we can't have OpenSpecimen or sorry, tissue metrics online anymore. So yeah, you would need to get whatever data out, or if you need to look at screens, things like that, take screenshots. You would need to do that before Thursday. I will have access to the database. So if you need a database export because you want to see all the data,
Mhm.
I can send that to you. The only issue with that is one, it could be PHI, most likely it's PHI, but the other thing is that we repurposed a lot of fields in tissue metrics. So some of the backend labels for the fields aren't what the actual data is. For example, in the front end of tissue metrics, the participant ID or an external PTID is actually stored in a field called species. And some groups are using like first name, last name for MRNs and things like that. So I would have to get you the dictionaries for your tables so you know which fields refer to what data.
Okay. Okay.
So I would recommend getting whatever you can out of the application from
Mhm.
screenshots and things like that. That way you have the data the way it looks in tissue metrics versus looking at it as a spreadsheet in a database. But yeah, everything's going down Thursday at 5. That way I can take the final snapshot of all the data for tissue metrics and get it to the OpenSpecimen team as quickly as possible. And they're going to work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hopefully they're going to get all the data migrated by Friday and Saturday. We're going to do validation checks to make sure everything got moved over and everything got imported. And then if everything is good, then we're going to go live on Monday.
All right. Is that 5 o'clock our time or 5 o'clock in Toronto?
5 o'clock our time.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your time. Good day.
Thank you. Yep. Have a good night.